morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you're listening to today's episode of More Than Just Task Management, the daily podcast that helps you build a successful business with me, Anna Angelova, business coach and consultant, and usually my co-host and another business consultant, Joris Minnesvand. However, if you're a regular listener, you know that Joris has been traveling the past 10 days and he made it for quite a few of the episodes for last week, but he's not able to participate in the conversation today. And today we are talking about a process that hopefully you have. And if you have, you can listen to what I am sharing and see whether there is anything you can improve in your process. And if you don't have it, this is your sign to implement this process. And the topic is mid-year review. And this episode is going live on June 30th, which is ultimately 6 months into the year. Half of 2025 is already gone. And as I mentioned, a lot of us, especially small businesses, our fiscal year matches the calendar year. So chances are that you are halfway through 2025. So where are you? What's going on with your goals? Are you achieving them or not? And this is what I'll be talking about this review, what it is, how it works, and even what we are doing with Joris and with our team at Levicom for this review. So this is, as I said, one of my favorite topics, and I love talking about productivity, both personal and for the business. And yeah, I'm ready to actually start sharing. And ultimately, when you think about it, mid-year review is what it says. It's a review you do halfway through the year. And in this case, for us, as I said, it is end of June, beginning of July is the half year mark. This is our fiscal year matches the calendar year. So, depending on how big your company is, this can be anywhere from a half day event, any day, where from like half a day to even a couple of days. And one thing that is good for you to do in for this process is even have it offsite. You don't have to go somewhere else. You might actually book a room, a conference room in a hotel, for example. It doesn't have to be like a completely offsite team building kind of event, but if you want it, it can be this kind of event as well. And again, it really depends on how big your team is. Like if you are just starting, if you are on your own, half a day should be more than enough for you to do three things ultimately. One thing is look back at the past 6 months. What happened? What worked? What didn't work? What should you keep on doing? What do you need to keep on doing, want to keep doing because it's working? What you might need to stop doing because it's not working? And what do you need to start doing? And maybe there is something that you can modify a little bit. Yes, you keep on doing it, but in a bit of a different way. So one thing is again looking back and seeing what happened. What are the results from the past 6 months? And of course, compare this to your goals, the goals you hopefully have for the business for the year, like for 2025, and seeing are you on track or are you off track? And this half like midpoint half year review this allows you to realign. Now, of course, if you have been listening to the podcast, you know that realigning once every 6 months, it's not enough. Like you want to realign every single week. You want to make sure that you check what's going on. Where are you? And this one actually allows you to step out of the weeds a little bit and really focus on strategy. Because the daily rhythms that you have, the daily meetings and reviews, the weekly meetings and reviews that you have, they're more operational and probably don't let you think about the bigger picture. And when it comes to reviewing the business, what's going on, where you are at the mid-year point, it allows you to step out. It gives you time to that blank space to think, to strategize, to get out of the tactical and move to the strategic. Like really think about what's going on with the business and how you're moving forward. And of course, you want to look at the business from a 360 perspective. Yes, you want to see what's going on with your main goals, like with the big hack you have, with the big three goals you have for the year. But you also want to review in general the health of your business and how it's going. And last week, not last year, last week we talked about our Thrive 360 business assessment that we do with our clients, and we mentioned the six systems that are crucial for any business. So that mid-year review allows you to look at these six systems and see, are they doing well? Because in the beginning of the year, you might start with a goal or like two, three big goals that you have. But then things change, new opportunities come up, the market changes. And one thing that we have that's really powerful for small, mid-sized businesses is that we can be more agile. We can react to changing conditions faster than corporations. And while you do want to focus on the goals you have, you want to go in the direction you have chosen for yourself or your business. At the same time, it's also about balancing with changing conditions, with, as I said, opportunities coming up. And like, for example, for us, there is an opportunity that came up and we are actively now working towards it. So throughout those past 6 months, things might have happened. So, and as I was saying, this really allows you this process when you step out of your day-to-day operations and either spend like half a day, or even up to 2 days, depending on how big your team is and how big your business is. It allows you to, again, look back at what was working and what hasn't worked in the past 6 months, see how you're moving forward, and also look at all these six systems, the leadership system, marketing, sales, finances, team management, and operations. Look at all these six systems and see what's going on. Are they doing good, or are there any red flags there? Is something flashing red? And hopefully you do have KPIs that are monitoring all this. And again, if you're a regular listener, you know that what we do and how we work with our clients as well. We have four main KPIs that the business owner monitors and needs to monitor constantly. One is profitability, another one is employee satisfaction, the third one is customer satisfaction, and the last one is the impact that the business has. So if you do have these kind of KPIs, you can look at them and see what's going on. And then those like, half a day to 2 days allow you to dive a little bit deeper and see what's going on. As I said, look at those six systems. Is everything working the way it is supposed to work? And it's really, really powerful because it gives you that checkpoint. It gives you that either that boosting the confidence that yes, we are on great path, great trajectory, and doing well, and we are all on track or even surpassing our goals, or it gives you the clarity that something is going on. Like it gives you that awareness that things are not the way they were supposed to be. So you actually need to take care. Like there are things that you as a business owner and your team need to do. And once you have that review of what happened in the past 6 months, where you currently are, what the path ahead looks like so the review and then also the planning for what the path looks like ahead. Of course, again, depending on how big your team is, you want to share this with your team. You want to celebrate the wins with everyone. You want to uh, show everyone this is where we are and this is in the direction the direction we're going in. So everyone rows in the same direction for the next 6 months. Everyone puts the effort, especially if you need to catch up. So ultimately, this is what it is. Again, like it's very straightforward. However, a lot of times, like we're so busy that we don't even carve out like half a day to look at this and take the time to really think about the business strategically. So if you don't have this process, I highly recommend it. And one thing, like some people ask us, like some of our clients as well. So, okay, if I'm doing a media review, do I do a quarterly review as well and things like this? Uh, yes and no. So ultimately, again, you develop your own systems and you make the process yours. What you do is things align. Like when we talk about the half year mark, it aligns with end of Q2. So as you are updating your numbers for Q2, you ultimately see what's going on. Like you get the whole picture for the 6 months, for the first 6 months of the year. So that half year review, it includes the quarterly. So it's not like you have a quarterly review and then a half year review. It is combined. Like for us, it is combined. And you, especially as a small business, or even if your business is a bit bigger, like mid-sized business, combining makes sense. Like you don't have to have separate quarterly meetings and separate quarterly conversations and then uh, do the 6 month review. Like it's one process, and this is what we're doing. And Joris and I, so as you're listening to this episode, it's probably at least June 30th, and Joris and I, we are doing our review July 1st for Canada Day. So this is where we'll be doing our review in the morning, take half a day to look back and see what happened. Now, the thing is that we started working together beginning of March, so it's not entirely a full year for us. We didn't start the beginning of the year, but we still want to use this because our fiscal year is calendar, aligns with the calendar year. So this is the midpoint for the calendar year and for the fiscal year. And as I said, we did get an opportunity recently that we are pursuing that's a little bit different from our core business at the moment. So we're doing our quarterly and half year review tomorrow morning. We'll use half the day to look back and see what happened, what has worked so far, what's not working. Like look at the numbers, collect some data. We both come from data backgrounds, numbers backgrounds, so this is something important for us. And numbers do tell a story. So this is what we are planning to do, half a day for us, where we look back and then we look forward and set ourselves some goals for the next quarter. And of course, make sure that things are aligned with the goals we have for the year overall. So I'm really curious, actually, do you have any kind of a review process, planning and review process? If yes, like, do you do this regularly or these regular intervals? And if there is anything else that you do actually for the media review, and if there is something that you want to share, go ahead. Like we love hearing from you and how you manage these things. And if you are not doing this, again, I highly recommend this is your sign to start it. And you don't have to carve 2 days, like half a day, take half a day, especially if you're here in Canada, tomorrow's July 1st. If you're in US, July 4th is coming. So there's a bit of slowdown where you can easily take, it doesn't have to be even half a day, like, even a couple of hours of you closing the door. And even if you do it on your own without your team, if you have a team, like it's still really powerful. And then you can start doing it with your team. If you can do it with your team, awesome. And another question we're asking, like, do I do this with we get asked is like, do I do this with my team? Like, again, you decide depending on how big your team is. Like if you have a few employees who are really involved with everything that's going on with the business, mm, then yes, you want to include them to create even more sense of ownership and to get buy-in from them as you're reviewing what happened in the past 6 months and planning for the second half of the year. Now, if you do have a bigger team, like again, if your business is more towards mid-size, then most likely what you do is have this kind of conversation and review with your core leadership team. And then together with them, you have some kind of a media review with everyone else with the company. And you might even make this a little bit of a team building event. Have some kind of a dinner or something and then share these things. And as I said, this is a great opportunity to celebrate, like to celebrate the achievements of the people in your company, to show them that you see them, that you care for them. So a lot of opportunities, not just strategically to look at what's going on, but also to um, create that culture of accountability, culture of celebration. We forget to celebrate and forget to celebrate genuinely. And you, as a leader, if you can develop this where you acknowledge the things that you want to see and celebrate them, miracles will happen in your team. And I know I'm going a little bit off tangent. Hey, this is it for today. Uh, Go and do it. We are reviewing our first 6 months and looking ahead tomorrow. And this is just one part of our productivity system that we have for the business. And if you want help with developing any of these systems within your business, contact us. I'll add the link for our business clarity accelerator, which is, as you know, the Thrive 360 business solutions. It's the first part of this service where we come and we look at all your systems and let you know this is where you are, this is what's working, and this is how you get to where you want to go. This is how you double, triple your business or become profitable, whatever your goal is. And the thing is that half half time ultimately, like the middle of the year, it's a good time to do this. It's a good time to get outside help and outside view of what's going on within your business. And we did share a lot about the Thrive 360 business solutions and specifically the Business Clarity Accelerator last week. I think it was Tuesday, which would have made it, what, June 24th? So if you missed that episode, go and listen to it if you're curious about it. And as I said, I'll add the link to the Thrive 360 Business Accelerator. So you can gift yourself this gift. Give yourself this gift where you get time with us as well to really dive into your business and see what's going on and how you can make it even more successful. This is it for today. Thank you for joining me. And we're back tomorrow with a topic related to technology. So if this is something you're curious about, come back tomorrow, July 1st, Canada Day, when we will be talking about when to have a website ready for your business, especially when you're starting. So this is really applicable, like if you're just starting your business. But again, you can listen to it even if you have an established business, because there are some things that sometimes, like, as we grow our businesses, we forget about the basics. We forget about the foundational parts. And these conversations that we are having that are more towards starting a business, yes, probably a lot of these things you might not need, but there might be some golden nuggets that you have forgotten about. So tune in and listen to it. And if you are starting a business or thinking of starting a business, definitely listen to this one tomorrow. Anyway, this is it for today. Thanks you again for tuning in, and I'll be back tomorrow with another episode of More Than Just Task Management, your favorite daily podcast that helps you build a successful business. Bye.